At J-Hope's concert, there were many moving moments. But there was one thing that particularly caught everyone's attention: the way Taehyung approached Jungkook time and again. It wasn't a coincidence. He did it calmly, as if he wanted to be very close to him at all times. Sometimes, it even seemed like he wanted to kiss him on the cheek, like he used to. The beautiful thing about all this was that Taehyung never avoided being near Jungkook. On the contrary, he seemed to seek out those moments. Every gesture he made, every glance, and every movement showed that he wanted to share something special with him. And Jungkook didn't reject him either. They were both comfortable, calm, and very connected. It was as if they didn't care who was watching. That's not something you can fake. During the concert, there were many glances between them. Glances that spoke volumes without them even needing to speak. There were also moments where they touched each other very naturally, as if it were part of their everyday life. Everything felt sincere and full of trust, as if their relationship remained strong, regardless of time or what others say. Some people, especially some Jimin fans, wanted to say that it didn't happen, that they were just scenes edited by Jimin fans. But this time, it wasn't a cut video or a fan editing things. It happened live and in front of everyone. The cameras clearly captured Taehyung seeking to be close to Jungkook, and that was what was most noticeable. Moments like these remind us that the bond between them never disappeared. It just waited for a perfect moment to show its strength again. And this concert was that moment. Seeing them so close, seeing how they understand each other without saying anything, is proof that their relationship is still there, stronger than before. For a long time, there were people saying that Jungkook no longer felt the same way about Taehyung. Some even thought he preferred to be alone with Jimin and that Taehyung was no longer a part of his life like he used to be. Those comments became very popular, especially among certain Jkookers. But J-Hope's concert was a great response to all those rumors. From the first moment Taehyung and Jungkook appeared together, the connection between them was felt. It wasn't just that they were in the same place, but how they moved, how they looked at each other, and how attentive they were to each other. The clearest thing of all was the way Taehyung approached without fear, seeking Jungkook's attention. And Jungkook calmly responded with small but meaningful gestures. That's something that can't be faked. No one acts like that if there isn't something real behind it. And in this case, what we saw was a relationship full of trust and affection. Many people still try to say it was just an act, something planned, part of a show. But when you look closely, you can tell it wasn't part of a script. The movements, the smiles, the way they approached each other, everything was so natural. You could tell they weren't acting, just being themselves. This comeback wasn't just a beautiful moment for Taehyung and Jungkook. It was a firm response to all the doubters. The images, gestures, and energy they shared during the concert cannot be denied. They're there for all to see without prejudice. For those who still believe Taehyung and Jungkook are no longer together, this concert showed another truth. A truth that felt loud, clear, and without needing words. Their relationship isn't part of the past. It remains part of the present. And it looks like it will last for much longer. After the concert, many fans started talking about Taehyung and Hobi going to dinner together at the Golden Pig restaurant, a well-known spot in Korea. Apparently, they both left their autographs there, which caught the attention of several fans. Shortly after, during his own concert, Hobi confirmed that Taehyung had been with him at the company dinner. He said he felt very grateful to have shared that moment with him, demonstrating how special the night was. Taehyung has always been known for his caring way of being with the people he loves, and his relationship with Jungkook is an example of that. Although Jungkook wasn't seen on this occasion, many fans remember how they always connect, even when they're not together in public. Their closeness is evident in the little details, how they look at each other, how they care for each other, and how they understand each other without words. It's nice to see how Taehyung spends time with his friends and also how he maintains such a special relationship with Jungkook. Their bond, filled with respect, affection, and trust, continues to inspire many people who believe in true love, the kind that manifests itself in simple but sincere gestures. In 2025, one of the most popular videos on TikTok was the Don't Drop That Thun Thun Dance Challenge starring Kim Taehyung, alongside talented choreographer Lee Young Lee. In a very short time, that video became the second most liked among all K-pop artists on the platform. The choreography was fun, stylish, and as always, Taehyung shone with his unique charisma. Even big-name creators like Nobody Sausage, who has over 22 million followers, jumped on the trend, proving just how powerful the video's impact was. Lee Young also achieved significant recognition. Her account racked up over 39 million likes, and a large portion of that number, over 22 million, came from the 3 special challenges she did with Taehyung alone. The connection between them in dance was evident, fluid, professional, and very powerful. But what excites many fans the most is imagining what would happen if Taehyung opened his own TikTok account. Seeing how much he's accomplished without a personal account, we all know his videos would be an even bigger success if he had his own space to express himself. And this is where many people can't help but think of Jungkook. Taehyung and Jungkook have always had a very special relationship. They've shared unforgettable moments, both on and off stage. Their closeness, their gestures, their way of looking at each other and supporting each other has always caught our attention. Although Jungkook didn't appear in this challenge with Lee Young, his influence is still present. Sometimes, people who are very close reflect each other in what they do, even without speaking. Taehyung shines on his own, but when he's around Jungkook, his energy seems to multiply. Fans who have followed their story know that what they share is something true, strong, and beautiful. Watching Taehyung succeed on TikTok makes you wonder what it would be like to see the two of them dancing together, sharing those moments with millions of people. The affection between them and how well they understand each other has been evident on many occasions. They don't need to say much, their glances and smiles say it all. That's why these kinds of challenges are not only entertaining, they're also a way to see how each of them continues to grow and shine, while the other is always present, even if it's silent. The video with Lee Young was a huge success, yes, but what's most exciting is thinking about the future. Maybe soon, we'll see Taehyung and Jungkook sharing a challenge together. And when that happens, there's no doubt it will be something very special. Taehyung and Jungkook don't just understand each other through words. Their connection goes beyond talking or joking around. There's something about the way they behave together that's striking, something that isn't repeated with other members of the group. It's as if they have a language of their own, one that needs no explanation. When they're around each other, they seem relaxed. Sometimes they hold hands, other times they massage each other's shoulders or carefully adjust each other's clothes, as if they know exactly what the other needs. These are small actions, but full of meaning. It's not something they do for the camera or for the fans, because it also happens when no one is looking, like in the moments before a concert. In many videos, you can see how one approaches the other in silence, encouraging words in their ear, or simply accompanying them with a calm gaze. Taehyung and Jungkook have a way of being together that seems natural, effortless. They don't need to say much to understand each other. Instead, they use gestures, glances, and ways of touching that say more than any words. This connection doesn't happen sporadically. It repeats itself day after day, as if it were a stable part of their relationship, something that's already a part of them. They're often seen sharing spaces in a very close way. Whether in the dressing room, during a break, or even on stage, their attitude doesn't change. It doesn't matter if there are cameras or if they're alone, the trust they have in each other is evident. They approach each other without worrying about what others will say, they support each other without asking permission, and they display a closeness that doesn't need to be explained. Over time, this way of being together has led many people to begin to see their relationship in a different light. For some, their relationship may seem like part of a show. But those who follow them closely notice that their gestures are anything but staged. They are spontaneous, sincere, and constant. They don't change depending on the place or the moment, which indicates that it's not just an act. The relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook stands out precisely for that, for its realness. It's not a story of pretty words or public declarations. It's a story of repeated actions, shared customs, and an emotional connection that shows in every little detail. They don't need to say they're close. You just have to watch them to understand. Many might think that the closeness between two people from the same group is commonplace. But what happens between Taehyung and Jungkook has a different intensity. Their way of living together is marked by respect, trust, and a chemistry that can't be faked. The most interesting thing is that they don't try to hide or exaggerate it. They simply live it. There's no need to invent theories. The images, the gestures, and the way they look at each other speak for themselves. And that's what makes their bond special. It's not just friendship, nor something temporary. It's a relationship built over time, with unplanned gestures and a connection that seems to grow stronger every day.